Did you both see Men?
No.
Okay.
I've never even
Why?
heard of this. Men?
Yeah, it got like
You've
mixed
never heard
reviews.
Men?
Did you just watch it? Did you?
We're everywhere. We're literally everywhere. We're probably the most
Oh.
oppressive force on
I
the
think
planet.
that is it.
Ew.
Yeah.
Came to power and won't give it up, and we don't really. I don't know why we have it.
Yeah.
Who?
No, the movie.
Oh yeah,
the
Alex
movie's-
Garland is the director.
Yeah, it's Alex Garland's post. Oh shoot, what's the cool Natalie Portman Alex Garland movie?
Annihilation.
Thank you. Yes.
Who did I just recently talked to somebody for a long time about Alex Garland, and I was like, why did I talk to somebody about Men? I don't remember because I talked about Civil War, and I really liked Civil
Oh
War.
sure.
Is
Yeah.
that the same person?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would love to talk to both of you about that too. It is
Okay.
I mean it's similarly like emotionally existential for most of it, and then the last
Mhm.
20 minutes are as bat as shit can be. So
I
it's
feel
cool.
like I'm
Okay.
now remembering there being
There were mixed reviews.
an amount of
Yeah.
opinions.
Part of the reason
discourse.
why
there was
Discourse. Yeah, that's.
I would love to talk to both of you about it because
Okay.
I have thoughts.
And you
But
know we
it's
would have
so-
thoughts about Men.
Yeah.
so.
And I just I think it would
Mhm.
I think it would be a great conversation because I would love to get, plus I would also love to get like a woman's perspective on the movie because it very much is dealing in gender politics to a great
Okay.
degree, right? So
Are you saying that we should just do an episode where it's the first time we just talk about movies?
yeah,
first
movies
movie
roundtable. Yeah, we're just like
movie
we're just gonna hang
roundtable.
out and
That's
do
a
a
better thing to call it.
It's the shooting the shit of debut buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the listeners deserve some of those.
Yeah.
You know, now and again. But for now,
We could probably find some firsts for it though.
we're gonna
Oh,
have to
Anything's a first.
anything. It's true. Anything is a first, including a little tunnel under the island of Manhattan. Ahoy, listeners! This is Debut Buddies.
Oh,
It's a fortnightly podcast about firsts. My name is Nate. I'm one of the buddies.
I'm Kelly. I'm another buddy.
I'm Chelsea. I'm the last buddy today.
Today, because sometimes
there's more, and I didn't want anybody to wait for it. So.
we didn't leave the back door unlocked at
Yeah,
Debut
sorry.
Buddies Studio, so no one has wandered in, which is good because we got to go down and under, but not to Australia.
It's true. Oh.
No,
Oh.
we're gonna go under the sea in a way,
Yeah.
Oh,
but not into the sea,
yeah.
No.
because we're gonna talk about a way of traveling beneath the ground,
Yes.
and I'm not talking about mole people either,
What?
or
I
chur.
researched the wrong thing.
Yeah. We're gonna have 40 minutes on mole people. Don't worry, we'll get there. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the first New York City subway, and this is a fascinating history. I was blown away to read about
Blown?
the.
You were blown away?
Yeah, I was also sucked. I was sucked and blown away.
Just had to reverse those baffles.
It's true. I was baffled by the baffles. And then the sucking started. So yeah, let's talk about this. But first, subways. How much familiarity do both of you have with subway systems around the world?
Well, I've been on a fair number, and I would say 75% of those times I have first gotten on the train going in the opposite direction
Oh.
of where I need to be going.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Very familiar with a specific station in San Francisco because if I get to it, I know, God damn it.
Which station?
Oh, couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
All right. Yeah. I always remember the 16th and Mission station because that was where
That's a good
I would
station.
get off from the airport to visit my buddy Jared when he lived in the Mission.
Yeah.
And that's one that just has it has one of those amazing super tall escalators,
Mm-hmm,
and you see the sky opening up in the city, and then you get to the top and there's 300 people who are all trying to sell you drugs at the same time, and
Yes.
you're like, I am in San Francisco now. I am
Yep.
here.
Yep.
I have done the thing. It's classic stuff. But yeah, any other systems? Any other subway systems you've been in? Other than
Yeah, I've gotten turned
the
around
BART?
in the DC
Okay,
station.
yeah.
Did okay in New York, surprisingly.
Sure,
Was
yeah.
too scared to try the tube in London.
Oh,
I was like, I'm gonna be walking on the wrong side of the stairs. I'm scared.
that's
I'm
fair.
not good at subways. I have a proven track record of going the wrong direction. What if they take me to some place where I don't speak the language? Which would be what?
Wales?
Super north. Oh, Wales, baby.
Yeah.
I counterpoint though. If you always get on going the wrong direction, London would be the place where you would automatically get on going the right direction because you would go to the wrong side of the train,
my
which would be going the way
God.
that you
Oh,
need to
that's
go.
a good point.
You're so right.
Damn.
Oh. Okay, I'll keep that in mind
Go
next
back.
time I go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you feel like you're ever getting lost in the United States, you should just start driving on the
Pretend
left
you're in
side,
London.
and
Oh.
things will work out. You will get where you need to go.
Have you driven through a roundabout in London?
No.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I've never driven in London.
I've driven
That
through a
sounds-
roundabout
I guess
in Paris
I haven't
before,
either.
and that was terrifying because it was like an 8-lane
It's the
wide
round-
roundabout,
Yeah,
and people were
yeah.
just
Oh,
like
no, thank
flying
you.
in and out of the thing. I mean, knowing that I was a passenger, I wasn't driving myself.
Same, yeah.
But
Like
still.
it
Yeah.
was a
I-
beautiful chaos.
No,
It was
thank
like
you.
a ballet, but it was also it's like
Oh.
being in the eye of a hurricane. It's
Oh.
terrifying because you're like, I don't know how anybody knows what anybody else is doing because they're
No.
kind of signaling, kind of not, and they all seem to know.
We ended up
Does
having to
everyone just
loop
have
a
to
couple
be,
times.
like
'Cause we
super
were like-
nice and be like, yes, you can go in. If somebody gets in front of you, you're like, we're all just trying to figure it out. It's okay. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Like everyone just got to be ultra patient and kind in that situation.
I
where
feel like
think-
everybody like knows well enough. That's the thing. It would be anxiety inducing because I feel like
Could we do it in America? Because nobody's considerate of anybody else on the road.
I have lived in a couple towns with roundabouts, and people do not know how to use them.
That's correct.
even if they're well marked with signage.
we now
that
have
says,
a
"This
lot
is how
of
to use a
roundabouts.
roundabout."
They are not good.
I
For people here.
personally love them, but people
But for
don't know
people
how
who
to
don't
use
know how to
them.
use them.
Yeah, they're incredibly efficient city engineering.
Oh,
but they are
Yeah.
terrible.
But people
for,
need to understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's okay. So we have a Wegmans is a grocery store that we go to, and the parking lot designer put in these like round brick centerpieces in all of the intersections.
Oh, okay.
But then they have to put up signs that say, "This is a four-way stop, not a roundabout." And it's like,
Oh.
why did you do this?
Don't do that.
That is
why
not
did you do this
smart.
for the looks when what it does is make people think it's a fucking roundabout? Like
Yeah,
there's a lot of
come
roundabouts in
on.
New Jersey, especially. So there are people around here who are
Yeah.
accustomed to them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something else.
Causes issues. Everyone gets mad.
Yeah.
Little things that
I
are
mean,
super
I've
Mhm.
it's mostly that I'm just like hyper aware, cautious at stopping fully and waiting to
Yeah.
make sure like
Yeah.
are you going where you say you're going? Because maybe you're not. I have no way of knowing.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, that's
Chelsea.
not the. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Chelsea, tell
Subways.
me about your subways.
Well, I usually get a foot long. I used to get the seafood.
I want you to go ahead and put a pin in that though, because you're going to want to think about the Subway menu for I see what you did there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You're going to think about that.
That's all I've been thinking about. I have been on the one in London. I have been on so I went with people, so I let them direct me. I've been in
Yeah.
Chicago.
I've been in Chicago.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
New York. I've been in New York, and then Seattle had a light rail. I went underground, so I think that counts. But that's how I would commute all the time. Didn't have a car for many years there, so commuted primarily via light rail. Was a big
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
10 out of 10. Love public
Yeah.
transit so much.
Whoa,
Yeah.
we love it. Oh, we
Same.
love
Yeah.
it.
Same.
I use it wrong, but badly. But I
But so
love it.
happy it's there. Yeah.
If there was more of it and I had more exposure, I would get better at it.
See?
Yeah, absolutely. I
yeah,
mean,
amen.
because it is very much like just learning your turns and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of public transit is always my internal barometer for how well I know a city that I'm visiting, because
Mm.
like I've taken the metro in Paris and I've taken the underground in London and DC metro, New York,
Mm.
Boston. I've ridden the T before. and Portland, and then Denver obviously has a light rail system that is not particularly adequate. I actually did a power rankings for work because this came up earlier this
fun.
week, like public transit. So I like ranked my top 12 and then put Denver at 88 because I think like I had high hopes for it, but it just never turned into something. But yeah, like Philadelphia has a pretty decent little kind of train subway situation, and even LA's subway is good.
Oh.
We rode that quite a bit when we were out there a few years ago because there's like a couple of lines that just like take you down Hollywood Boulevard, so you can just like go back and
Yeah.
forth without dealing with all of the nonsense that can be parts of it. I love them. I love them absolutely. I think the Paris Metro is my favorite. Then the London
nice.
Underground, because London Underground I picked up. We went there in 2019, and I think I picked up that in like 2 days, where I was like, I know
nice.
exactly how to read this, and we'll just do this, and we'll get on this line, and we're fine.
Nice. Yeah, they
and
say
yeah.
that that's a good one, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
straightforward one.
Yeah, it's really easy to like. Both Paris and London are very easy to follow. I think honestly like New York and DC were the ones that took me the longest to sort out because there are so many crisscrossing things, and there's
Yeah.
just, and because you have so many different entrances from so many different aspects to the same platform, if you get a
Yes.
little turned around, plus it's like, I don't know, for some reason, like in Europe, the maps all seem to be like easier to look at and find. And there's occasionally people at the stations that you can ask for help
Aw.
because they sort of expect foreigners to need help.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's
like
so sweet.
I would be remiss to walk up to anybody in a New York City subway station and be like, "Hey, am I going the right
No.
direction?" And they'll be like, "You're going onto the tracks. I'm going to murder you." Which
No, even in
that's
San
inadequate.
Francisco, they finally switched to you can use your Clipper card on your phone now
Oh, nice.
in San Francisco, but each station has a different place where you scan your phone. So every time I sort of like linger back and I watch people and I try
Smart.
to look at the
Situation.
the turnstiles to see if I can spot where it is. And you can't. You can't. I can't. And even there, as I'm like walking up, if I'm holding my phone too high or low, I've been yelled at by people who work there, like, lower! Look, it's at the bottom. Don't shout
You're
at
like, I'm
me.
trying.
I'm
I'm
gonna
doing
get an
my
Uber.
best.
You are making this a more difficult interaction,
I'm so scared.
not a better
Sorry.
one. But yeah, I love them. We all love them here. The entire country should be covered with public transit. It would be a better
Yep.
Yeah.
place.
I would come see you guys. We could do this in
Yeah.
person if public transit were better.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
it's not, and I can't drive, and I'm scared of everything.
yeah. No, it's yeah. I mean, if we had high-speed rail where it was like, oh, we can just like record
Oh,
every weekend by each taking like a 2-hour-long train
Oh,
trip to a
that's
central
awesome.
central
that'd be
location,
so nice.
that'd be badass. I would love it.
Aw,
We'll get there. We'll figure
We're too
something
spread
out.
looked
out to
into-
not have it.
truly.
I know.
And Amtrak does like cross country stuff, but I looked into the price recently.
It's
is-
airplane expensive.
Yeah.
It's more.
Yeah.
Like Denver to Chicago to San Francisco was like $3,000 or something.
Do you get a sleeper car too?
This was not a sleeper. Well,
Oh.
I don't think it was even. I don't remember.
Because I remember it being like if you sat in coach for that at least a few years ago, you could get away with like $600, where it's
Oh,
still more
boy.
expensive than flying there. But if you were
Wow.
like, I want to ride the rails and see the countryside,
Right,
like it could
yeah.
kind of earn itself there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you also
But it
would
also
want,
takes,
like
like,
privacy and stuff.
So long.
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of
wanted to take a
stopping.
train from like St. Louis to Seattle, and I was like, oh, 5
Boy.
days.
Yeah.
I don't have that many days.
Yeah.
I
The
have
thing that
some
always
days.
gets me is if it was those 5 days and you planned for it and you were like, okay, cool, and we'll stop at this station and I'll get out and I'll walk around and look at the city for a little
Yeah.
bit. But you
Mhm.
never have that much time.
No.
You probably have a little bit of time, but then there's always that anxiety of like, well, if I get off here to go like take a peek at this thing and go to the bathroom and buy a magazine and my train leaves, you know,
Right, yeah.
like there's that level of anxiety because I mean, my experiences here with Amtrak have been probably 60-40 positive. But
Mhm.
generally speaking, like I had a bunch of delays this summer because the weather creates heat that
Yeah.
the trains can't use, which we'll see what they do about that, what with the climate and all. But the communication's not particularly there. Like when you're at the train station and the only thing that you can get is a record, like a previous recording that over and over and over again says that your train is delayed and we will
Right.
update you when we
Good.
have updates. And then you can look at your phone app and be like, no, there's actually updates. Like, why don't you just announce those things? Like,
Right.
there are people sitting here who might not be savvy to the fifth level thing. Anyway, trains themselves are great. And
Love them.
you know what else was great? Was the first time that somebody tried to put a train under New York City. So let's talk about this beach pneumatic transit. Because we
Pneumatic.
alluded to sucking and blowing earlier, and boy, does this ever. If you've ever gone to the drive-through at a bank, you have experienced a form of pneumatic transit by putting checks to be deposited in one of those canisters and sending it into the tube.
Or if you work for the CIA, it's my understanding that they still have those installed for like inter-office communication.
I love it.
I doubt that's like used, right? Everything has got to be
Well,
digital at this point.
I mean, I'm sure guys put their dicks in
Well,
and stuff.
If you don't want people looking at your Slack, you gotta.
That's true. This is how I send my shit posts. Have you seen Gary today?
Yeah. It's just like memes going through pneumatic tubes for some reason.
I send a flash drive, you plug it in. It's Rick Astley.
But yeah, so the beach pneumatic transit was the very first attempt to build underground public transit in New York City. It was developed in 1869 by a gentleman named Alfred Ely Beach. And the original line was just a demonstration of pneumatic power and how it could function for an entire train system. This line had one stop, which was in the basement of the Rogers Peat building near the old City Hall station, and there was a single car shuttle that ran 300 feet between two dead ends.
And people just rode it for fun.
And people just rode it
just
for fun.
to see.
Yeah, yeah. It was like it was $1 to ride or something, I think.
A quarter.
Or a quarter. It was a quarter to ride. And yeah, you just go down there and be like, cool, I'm in this thing. Now, Beach's conception for this car was that it was going to be a hyper elegant travel experience that looked like a parlor in a Victorian mansion. So you have
my
like
God.
a chandelier and a piano and drink service and
Yeah.
plush seating.
Well, wait.
and
The
wallpaper
piano
and
was
shit.
in the station.
I-
In the car.
I think they could put a piano in the car too. Let's extend
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole idea here was Beach wanted really to create something that was incredibly elegant and that
Yeah.
everybody would want to use. So it wasn't just an experience of like, hey, let's shuffle you down something. It was like, this is the contrast to having to walk around in the like shit-covered streets of New York. Where there is industrial pollution and there is human waste and there is garbage and there's all this stuff. Well, what if we go underground and much like One Little Mermaid, maybe it's better down where it's wetter.
I don't really want my subway to be wet. That's one
Yeah,
of my
for
big
sure.
problems
That's fair.
with the New York subway as it stands.
It is. There is a combination of drainage
just a
and
lot of
urine
fluids.
in there.
There's a lot of
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So this line ran from 1870 to 1873. So that was the period Kelly was alluding to, where it was just, this was an attraction. You could go do this. What's interesting is how it was built and who this Alfred Ely Beach guy was. I was fascinated. Did you both read up on Beach at all? Did you dig into Beach?
Yeah,
No.
because I was worried he was terrible.
And here's the thing. I was worried he was terrible too. And I was
He's
astonished to
good.
find out that he might have
Is he
been
just
one of the
fantastic?
best people ever.
He's really good.
He was fantastic. Alfred Ely Beach lived from 1826 to 1896, a solid 70 years old. He was an inventor, a patent agent, to go back to our previous first patent episode.
Yeah.
He was a co-publisher of Scientific American, which just so happens to be the
nice.
longest running American magazine in existence.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was the son of Moses Yale Beach, who was a pioneer in journalism. Beach was, in the 1860s, dealing with New York City traffic. I mean, and aren't we all, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Nobody drives in New York. The traffic's terrible.
Yeah.
Traffic was so terrible, especially along Broadway, which was the main artery, that it was just like there's just people and horses and everything. It's nobody can get around. Get
Boy, the
anywhere.
fluids
Yeah,
situation
the
was probably
fluids.
much worse.
Because you got horse fluids to deal with.
You got horse
Wow.
They are
fluids.
many times larger than people. So think of how many more fluids they hold.
Oh no, that's so many fluids.
It's at least 9 more fluids.
Ugh.
Plus, I don't think it was paved just yet.
No.
So it nice and mixed.
It's just
into that.
muddy.
Yeah, because it's so many horse-drawn carriages. So you have
Mm.
you have stone pavers. You would probably have like
Mm.
brick streets and things, but you're also going to have dirt because those poor little
Yeah.
horse tootsies, some of them don't have hooves, don't have their
Little
shoes
They're
on.
horseshoes.
Yeah.
Little shoesies.
Yeah, we need.
Where are the farriers? Where are all the farriers?
Thank you. I was trying to pull farriers from my head. I appreciate that you had that. At the time, the city was being ruled by William Boss Tweed, who was the sort of head of Tammany Hall in New York. So who's like the Democrat boss of politics. And he was basically like just taking kickbacks and shit, making
Yeah.
sure that the city had a steam-powered train and horse-pulled bus lines. Like these were the things that he was driving for. So Beach is immediately like, I gotta disrupt this. We gotta do
Yeah.
there has
He's
to
a
be another
disruptor.
way. Right? He's sitting there with his pasta pot full of hot water and pasta and he spills it in the sink and he's like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
That's him.
I got to invent something. So then he visits London. He learns about the Metropolitan Railway. And so the metro in London at the time used steam-powered trains to go through effectively the kind of the metro system that currently exists.
Yeah.
It was growing. And he was like, well, what if there was something that didn't pollute as much because steam engines require a lot of coal generally or a lot of wood burning. And oh man, what about this thing pneumatics?
What about it?
What if we used physics to move the object around in a
Yeah.
way that was like more sustainable and way quieter and didn't like just spew black bullshit into the air all the time?
Love it.
So far, so good.
Mhm.
So he proposes building his pneumatic train and he starts trying to like figure out how to construct the thing. He can't get a deal from Tammany Hall, right? This Boss Tweed guy is like, no, man, we got steam engines. That's the wave of the future. Or
Yeah.
rather, and I don't know if either of you have heard this before or noticed, but there are times in America where like people with the power to change things for the better choose not to because they could like be enriched and enrich their friends who
Huh.
are doing the
That
bad thing.
happens?
Yeah,
That
I
would
know, it's
never.
weird, right?
That would
It's-
never.
I know it sounds far-fetched, but we have at least one example with this particular story.
Okay.
And whether we
But
can
there
find
can't be
another,
that many examples, right?
yeah, there can't be more than 4, 500, 1,000
Every day?
every
Or
every
our
damn
whole
day.
lives?
So Beach refuses to blackmail this Boss Tweed guy, and instead he starts building his tunnel in the middle of the night.
I love this. I
So-
love this.
They go underground and they dig this secret tunnel under Broadway, like under the street, and they're
That's a little
carting
unsafe.
dirt away in the dark. So you just have to imagine. And one, like there's not electricity yet, so there's
my
candlelight. It's dark. Everything just goes dark
Oh my
when it's
God.
nighttime. So
Yeah.
they're just working down there, digging, bringing carts of dirt out. I don't know where they
Okay.
put them. I couldn't find anything about where they put them.
No, I don't know.
Just in the streets for the horses.
But he did
Yeah,
all
I
of
mean,
this.
These streets are already muddy. Let's
Just
make
add
it
it to the
worse
street.
to
Yeah.
like support our cause.
Just spread it out. Don't put it all in one spot. Just spread it out.
Yeah, just everything will look freshly graded. People will
yeah,
love
exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone will come out and be like, "Man, they're really keeping up their
it. Didn't
pros."
this street used to be pissier and shittier? It seems awfully dry.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
well,
Also cleaning everything up. Good job. Good job.
I did like, though, he got a permit to do pneumatic, like the bank tubes. He was like, we can use it for messaging underground.
Mm.
Yes.
So it's like, I guess he's digging. That
Was
does
he just
seem
like,
like a
"I'm just
lot
doing
of
that"?
dirt
Yeah.
for a communications tunnel. Well,
A big communication.
I guess it's fine. Yeah, we got a lot of words to say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they used to use so many more words.
They
Now we just
truly
use
did.
emojis.
Mhm.
But yeah, so he's doing all of this, and he's also doing it with City Hall literally like across the street from where he's digging under. So great stuff. I love the flex. He ends up putting up $350,000 of his own money to bankroll the project so that he can get away from all of the extortion and the different stuff that would have to go on between the governor and the mayor and the city comptroller and all that stuff. And his whole thing here is, once I finish this, it will be so cool and everybody will love it so much that no one will be able to deny it, right? It's a
Yeah.
very like, I don't know, it vibes a little bit like a Apple era Steve Jobsy thing where it's like, we're gonna make an iPhone. Everybody's not gonna understand that they need a new kind of phone, but I'm gonna make it and they're gonna love it so much that it will replace everything. But Beach 1000% less evil than Steve Jobs. I just want to be very clear about that.
Yes, but it was at this point that I was like, it feels like we've got an Elon Musk on our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Where's
me
the
go. Yeah, let me go do some Googling.
So he finishes the tunnel. He starts doing these demonstration railway things, and people love it.
People love
They love
it.
it. They're lining up to hand over a quarter to ride 300 feet
Yeah.
in the tube and back and get off
It was
and go
like-
back up.
So it was only in operation for 1 year. Like it was there for 3, but it only
Oh.
functioned for 1. And like hundreds of thousands of people took this little dead end to dead end trip.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, to rewind slightly. It took 58 nights for them to
Yeah.
dig the hole and finish the pneumatic tube construction on the inside, which also seems incredible. I know it's only 300 feet, but that still seems incredibly fast. Like,
Right?
especially to do it in a way that you're able to get away with doing it in secret. Because I feel like to get that much done in 58 days requires a large crew of people, which means a lot
Yeah.
of people are like shuffling in and out. But yeah, it worked out. So there is he hosts a gala in February 26th of 1870. He invites city and state officials, and Boss Tweed shows up, and he's just
Yeah.
super pissed. He's like, "Wait a second, I didn't make any money off of this. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to pull off?" He's like, I got these great steam powered streetcars. What are you doing here? I don't like this. Because he's a
I
bad
mean,
man.
people still have to get to their destination. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're
It's
just
fine.
offering
The end of the
alternatives.
tunnel.
But yeah, as Kelly said, in less than a year's time, the underground system was used by 400,000 people,
fun.
and there were
That's so
like
cool.
only
Wait, but they're not-
410,000 people in the world in 1890.
Okay, it's
So,
300
literally
feet. That's not very far. You can walk that far pretty quickly, pretty easily, right? Am
Oh.
I misimagining how far?
No,
300
that's right. No,
Okay.
300 feet.
So they're not using it for commute. It's just for funsies. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
for
just for
funsies.
fun.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
This
So
is
it'd
like
be, I was gonna say, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like, it would be the same as like going up in the Space Needle or going up in the
Yeah.
towers.
yeah, or like
Instead of
using
going up, you're
the
just going
VR
across.
at Dave and Buster's. It's just like it's
Okay,
there. It
that's a
doesn't
good-
work particularly well. It doesn't change your
Yeah.
life, but it's kind of a goofy
Maybe
thing, and you're
it
like, I'm glad I
does.
tried it.
Yeah. Although this
it inspire
probably
someone?
was super exciting, right? Like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
this one doesn't change my life, but this is just the proof of concept. It
Yeah.
could change my life.
The idea here was the pneumatic train would go 60 miles an hour underground,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which would be appreciably faster than any streetcar or any horse-drawn thing goes, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
so it would have been dazzling.
Mhm.
Oh, love it.
And you're just on your Victorian fainting couch in your
Oh.
wood paneled
Yeah.
train
The
car.
wallpaper, the decorations in these things, it's amazing. There's some very cool like side views of the schematics that he wanted to do for these trains.
Yeah.
It looks cozy. Like,
Wait, so do they just get in and then it's done and then they have to get out? Like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to imagine
I think it was
how-
like
Basically.
foomp and then I think it was foomp and then fump. because they had to get
Yeah.
pulled back to the
Okay.
station.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'd get
I
out.
feel like I would
So
throw
technically
up.
they get a 600-foot round trip.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's worth it. Wait, what is it for inflation? Have we?
I tried
Oh.
to look. So the inflation calculators only go back to 1913, so this predates that.
Mhm.
But the 300,000 that Beach put into this is almost $10 million in today's money,
Mhm.
and the quarter is like $7. So
Okay.
call it
That
10
seems
for
comfortable.
when this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so it's like going to a matinee. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could go see that person eat that apple on that apple box, or we could go ride the pneumatic tube.
Let's go ride the thing.
Yeah, let's go ride the tube. And some people had participated in like the 10, 20 below club, right? I assume.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's got to be at least like 2 pump chumps who can do the pneumatic thing, right?
Good for them.
Well, maybe you rent out. So the car only holds like 30 people. So like Mr. Moneybags can rent the whole car and maybe slip a little extra to the
Do another.
operator.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop it at the other end for like
Oh.
a couple minutes.
Yeah, like when you
before
when you get the,
The top
Ferris
of a
wheel to
Ferris
stop
wheel?
at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So 400,000 people are using this thing. He then requests to extend the line to Central Park. He wants to keep growing this project.
Oh.
And he's hoping to get $5 million, and he's trying to convince John Jacob Astor III to be a venture investor.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. all of these people.
Yeah, I was like,
R.I.P.
that's-
everyone
I know,
who wrote
right?
it.
It's a big R.I.P. You know,
a lot
he's
of
like a
R.I.P..
notable R.I.P.
It's true. It's true. So then in 1870, Tweed introduces a bill to fund the full construction of the subway, but the bill doesn't pass. And then by the end of 71, Tweed's control over Tammany Hall is all in disgrace because of a bunch of just misappropriative shit. Like everybody figures out he's a corrupt asshole. And the tragedy is that it seems that it kind of takes Beach's project down with him. And I think there's conjecture as to whether Tweed kind of did that on purpose. He was like, yeah, this guy kind of fucked me. I'm going to make sure that he goes down with me. And I'm just going to make sure we're connected. We're going to be associated by name.
Don't
Yeah,
like
that
that.
sucks. I do know that after Tweed fell out of, I guess favor isn't the right power, Beach was like, even though at this point Tweed was like sponsoring the bill, Beach was like, no, Tweed was against it. Tweed was against me. He was an opponent. So
Oh.
to sort of rally the remaining people in
Yeah.
power to support him.
Yeah, he was trying to do a nice little distancing job, and it just didn't work out. Partially because Alexander Turney Stewart and then that John Jacob Astor III both were really concerned that all of the tunneling was going to damage their buildings and interfere with the surface traffic around them. So they were also pushing back against this, and big money means things don't happen in this country, especially. They did get a bill passed in late 1871, but then Governor John T. Hoffman vetoed it because he said that it was giving too much authority and compensation to a private company and not to the state of New York.
There's we could have a lot of thoughts there.
It's just funny how much, like, so much of this is very broken clock where it's like, shit, well, you're right, but you're wrong here. You're wrong here, but you're right technically, but you're wrong.
But hold on. Like, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here.
They do finally sign a similar bill into law, but then there is the Panic of 1873. So all sorts of people lose their money. They pull their money out of the stock market, everything. Because even though we don't really talk about it, like really every like 25, 30 years in capitalism, everything falls to shit. The rich people get richer because they're able to squirrel away and everybody else gets fucked. So that happened in 1873. And one of the people who got fucked was our buddy, Alfred Ely Beach. He can't get the money together for it. So, and concurrently, the elevated railway at Greenwich and 9th Avenue is being built. and it's operated with steam engine like the London Underground one. And that project actually ends up starting the path to the existing current New York City subway. But they're able to do a thing that is less quote unquote controversial. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's just not as revolutionary, and everybody, it's this thing where we, for whatever reason, humans trust stuff that they're used to, even when it's bad, over things that are better, because they're new, and it's stupid, but it's kind of a thing we do. It's the devil, we know.
Yeah.
Plus, they still had that fear about the foundations.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's solvable. That's like, that's solvable. I understand the fear, but let's work through that.
Yeah.
Did
It
you
literally
guys-
gets solved like 20 years later when they're building the whole New York City subway
Right, yeah.
under the same buildings.
Did you guys see the woman in India who fell into a hole because a pipe had broke and then it eroded away, and then she got sucked into a sewage pipe?
Oh God.
They haven't found
No.
her body yet.
Oh.
Sorry, but I was
Yeah.
thinking
I'm
about it,
sorry.
like, and I was like, man, I would be worried about that. I'm not worried about everywhere I step because I think somebody is digging a hole under me, or that there is
Well,
a
they
sewage
are.
pipe eroding,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get sucked into a sewage pipe. That would be the worst way to go. That would be the
That's an-
worst way to go.
That's a Willy Wonka way to go. That's a
But
Gustus
man.
it's
glue.
all poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Not
least if you drown in
chocolate.
chocolate, it would be a
You
little
have
better.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's also, like,
I would
not
be
her
okay with
fault,
that.
like,
yeah,
you
it's
know.
definitely not hers. She was just walking. She was just walking home, had a bunch of stuff in her arms.
See, and this is why we need trains. No walking.
Oh,
No
good
more
point.
Right.
Walk.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
trains would be
yeah,
good.
good
Also,
point.
just funding infrastructure and maintaining things. Because
Oh, sure.
yeah, my wife and I were walking yesterday, and there's a section of sidewalk that has sunken in, and they've just got it. They've got police tape around it. But
Mhm.
I looked at it as we were walking by, and I was like, oh, well, the gutters for the house, the two houses, the row houses are right there, go right into the ground by that sidewalk. So I bet their
Oh,
connection to the city sewer has a
Yeah.
crack in it, and water is just seeping under the sidewalk,
yeah.
and so then
Ugh.
stuff just sinks down. Like, and
Right.
that's, you can't really do anything about that,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I mean, you can require people to maintain their sewage stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sure.
like as a pedestrian, you're kind of fucked. Like, I remember a
Yeah.
sinkhole opened up when I was in Denver, like on Logan Street, and like
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
it sucked a red Jetta into it,
Ooh.
like a whole car. And the sinkhole that was down here, that opened up earlier this year, just like 4 blocks from my house, ate a
Jeez.
mail truck.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
So, they can happen.
There was that sinkhole, geez, in Denver. I think it was on 36. It was like
Oh.
one lane of the highway just sort of crumbled away
Yeah.
while people were driving.
Yeah.
And then there was that sinkhole in Arkansas that had a fire burning at the bottom of it for
Oh, ever?
an extended period of time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it was years and years, and they were just like, yeah, that's the hell sinkhole.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there's-
can do that accent. I'm from Arkansas.
That's
You're allowed to.
because you'll see that too, where like old mines will catch fire because they have a
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah.
of like flammable stuff in there, and it just it
Mhm.
leads to the entire infrastructure of the ground above the mine slowly collapsing.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. We're really good at fucking with things and not making mistakes as humans.
So
not
I
us.
can
We're great.
Yeah, no, we would never let this happen.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, so unfortunately, Beach can't get the money to do the thing. He's basically just facing constant pushback from wealthy property owners. He ends up spending $70,000 of his own money to upgrade his stations to try to further convince people, like, look, if you see how luxurious this shit is, maybe I can just convince people through sheer public will that this has to happen.
Well, and he also sort of pivoted to just being like a cool hangout lounge.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He turned it into an event space eventually.
Oh,
nice.
Like he shut the tunnel down, but then the subway ended up becoming a wine cellar that people could use, and then later as a shooting range and a storage vault.
That's
Oh.
right. I meant to look into that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
So yeah, you could just go underground and like shoot from, because it's a 300-foot long tunnel. So you just go down there and you put a
Oh.
target and you're just like sharpshooting down the
Wow,
tunnel.
that seems okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
great for ricochet reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Right.
We've never been bright
Huh.
about guns in this country, I don't think. So why would we
True.
start then?
No.
Gotcha.
I guess
Agreed.
I'm not super clear on the quality of guns at this point.
Good point.
So maybe it was okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
still talking like individual shot, like revolvers. You're talking Western
Right,
revolvers,
yeah.
like Smith and Wesson
Yeah.
stuff. So you're still like 6 shots, and then you're gonna have to whatever, or you're loading a rifle or a shotgun or something.
But what's the accuracy of these at this point?
Kinda. They're gonna
How
be.
Kinda. That's a
frequently
good
are
one.
they blowing up in your hand?
Ooh.
Oh, I bet not that. I bet not that frequently.
Yeah.
I think if they're
okay,
properly
okay.
if they're
There's a
properly
percentage,
maintained.
but it's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cute thing about this, all of the money that Beach makes from the subway, from those 400,000 people who ride
Yeah.
it, he donates to a charity called the United Home for Orphans of Soldiers and Sailors. He gives this to
Oh.
kids who have been orphaned from
Oh.
the Civil War.
Yeah.
Like, he puts all of the money into these good kids. He doesn't even use it to recoup the
Right.
millions upon millions of today dollars he spent on this project. He just does nice stuff. He ends up taking his pneumatic tube system and purposing it for New York's mail
Yeah.
system. So the post offices in
Oh.
New York have the first mail tube in the country, so that you
Oh.
can sort stuff from floor to floor that quickly.
Love it. Do you think you have to wear earplugs? Like,
Oh.
how loud is the
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, if it's close to the like the bank noise, I remember it making a noise, but you just hear like you hear a vacuum sound like what,
Right.
and then you put the thing in, and it goes whoop, and that's it, and then it's over.
But okay, but then the thing that
Does the door make more
generates
sound?
the vacuum, like,
Well,
where's
then.
the big? The,
Oh
like,
yeah, it's got to be in a
power
basement
source?
somewhere, right?
Oh,
Like even in the movie
Yeah, so
Elf,
is that
because
loud?
remember, like Elf works in the
Yes. He
basement
works in the mail room.
and
Mhm.
yeah, and they have a pneumatic system there because they do the thing where Will Ferrell moves really quickly and he's
Mhm.
sorting all the things into the different tubes.
So cute.
Yeah,
Now, are these gifts or letters to Santa?
Both.
I think they were all just
Both.
corporate mail, right?
Oh, yeah, they
Wasn't it
were.
just-
It's a
it was
corporate
all,
building.
It was all for the
Well, it
publishing
did
place that
have
his
that
dad
they-
worked.
They just get some letters, right? Am I making that up? I'm just going to rewrite this story.
Yeah, I think
Thank
that's
you,
fine.
Kelly. Let's
Yeah.
make it better.
You're welcome. Yeah, we're coming for you, Will.
We're punching up. We're punching up Elf. Let's get Jon Favreau on the phone. In 1912, workers for the Degnon Contracting Company excavated part of that tunnel when they were constructing the subway line running under Broadway. And they ended up going like, oh shit, there's a whole station under here that
Yeah.
nobody's been looking at anymore. Because it turns out the building that used to access Beach's original station burned down. And
Oh.
so everything was closed off for like 30 years. These workers also discover that his tunneling shield, which was basically the device that he used to create a perfectly circular tunnel, because most tunnels were like square with trusses, he created this tunneling shield that he invented. And the remains of one of the original subway
Compacted.
cars. And they basically like completed this new tunnel that goes between City Hall and under Broadway at the old City Hall station. So it's really cool that this was all here. It was all sitting under New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
really,
you
really
imagine being like, who put this subway station here? Like, I'm trying to build a subway station, and there's
What
a
the
subway
hell?
station here.
yeah. What? Right. Which we can parallel to the discoveries of that particular subway station renamed in the movie Ghostbusters 2 and
Oh,
as the
yes.
domicile for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Ninja Turtles movies, where both of those
Oh.
spaces are directly based off of Beach's designs for tunnels and what they were, because
Oh.
there's this abandoned tunnel and it's connected to stuff, but it's not connected to anything. And where best would you go to hide your evil ooze or your
Yep.
beautiful pizza craving
Your pizza.
ooze boys?
I also wondered if it was the inspiration for the abandoned subway in the movie Mimic.
Also,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, abandoned subway tunnels, mole people. We talked about. We alluded to mole people
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's great. It's just great to know that there's stuff down there and a lot going on.
Yeah. Just mysteries. It's a world of wonder.
But Beach is this wonderful guy. Okay, so after the Civil War, he also, because I mentioned that he donated all of the profits from the subway to orphans. after the Civil War, he founded a school for freed slaves in Savannah, Georgia. And it's called the very first, yes. It's called the Beach Institute, and it's now home to something called the King Tisdale Cottage Foundation. But it was the first school in Savannah for the education of African Americans.
Wow, this guy's so progressive.
Right? Isn't he cool?
He's a fucking badass. He's
Love
so great.
him. Oh, sorry.
And the rest of his family seems like it too. Like his brother
Also did great
I don't know.
things.
At least supported great policies.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they were like legit humanists and very, very forward-thinking people. He was a member of the Union League Club of New York, which was an abolitionist society that supported all of Lincoln's policies. So he was on board when Lincoln was still president, decades before he did this project.
Mm-hmm.
He is directly responsible for the pneumatic tubes that exist in the CIA and and a bunch of other stuff. He dies of pneumonia when he's almost 70 years old.
Which, can we reflect on that? Fucking pneumonia.
Pneumatic. Pneumonia.
Damn.
Yeah.
He died as he lived.
He did. Just understanding the need to suck and blow air.
Yeah.
And how important that is. Essential to living,
So
essential to moving
important.
people,
So essential.
to moving their hearts, moving them emotionally. Yeah.
God. He also invented a typewriter for the blind.
He did.
That makes
He invented a typewriter for the blind. Yeah.
What? Why aren't we?
I
Why isn't there
know.
a day to celebrate this man? Like,
I agree.
What is happening?
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. He's so good, so interesting. Like I was legit blown away. He genuinely cares about people being better. He is stifled by corruption, and he keeps trying and trying and trying. And even when he gets basically screwed over by all this stuff, he still does cool things like invent a typewriter for the blind.
And not only, you mentioned earlier that he was a patent clerk officer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what to call him, but he was I want to say he was a lawyer.
Yeah.
And so he sort of fell into the patent business in conjunction with running his science magazine because so many inventors needed patents.
Yeah.
And so they ended up like making the case for so many patents that I think it said something like 15% of patents during this time period were handled either by him or his partner.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was just all about making the future happen.
Yeah.
And wanting to see past, basically like seeing past the capitalist illusion of let's just do this thing that makes money. He was like, no, let's do a better thing. We should be always striving to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like giving people access and opportunity to be better. Like, it's that phrase, high tides lift all ships. He's like, let's make them tides high, baby. But not too high because I've got a tunnel.
Right. Yeah. We still need to move my tube. My tube still needs to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's born in Springfield, Massachusetts. He ends up securing patents for Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, and Cornelius Vanderbilt, among other people. Not all of them are great, but they made
They're
stuff
people
that we're still
Sure.
using. Yeah. And yeah, he's just such a, I don't know. This was the thing where I was reading and going like, oh, this is sad. This is a sad story because this guy who tried to do something really good was genuinely good and died never getting to realize one part of his dream. But he still did a bunch of cool stuff that was very meaningful.
And he is someone that we are talking about today.
Yeah.
So much time later. Was going to say the amount of years, but no math. No, thank you.
Yeah, we don't need to dazzle people with our math skills. We'll save that for the dev section when we tell them what the average score is. It'll be fine.
Okay,
perfect. I don't know why we don't just pull up a calendar.
No, we can
or
only
a
math
calculator.
once a year. So
yeah, we passed that day. Pi Day was March. It's done.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just such a cool guy. But here's the other thing. The pneumatic tube system concept is pretty much another thing Elon Musk has stolen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because his Hyperloop concept basically takes Beach's idea and says, I would like to do this
To ruin
but
it?
with Cybertruck
Sorry.
instead of good.
Right. Something stupid.
So yeah, so just further evidence that, like, one, I mean, here's the thing. Look, I know Elon Musk is listening to the show, so I'm just gonna say, hey,
Yeah.
bro, if you want to make a Hyperloop, just make it because you got all the money. You could do it. He was able to do it in
Does
he
58. He was able to do it in 58 days in secret.
Yeah, come on.
And you're not doing shit. So
No.
whatever. And yeah, Chelsea, you're probably right. I bet he has like $2 left,
Yeah.
and he's saving those so he can dead name his child.
Ugh. Which good is so are you implying that there's like a swear jar at home? Like,
Yeah. I think that's what I'm implying. I think that's what I'm implying. I don't really know.
No,
Grimes is
that.
like just points.
Somehow I imagine that's how all of their interactions went, even when they were like on good terms.
Oh,
Grimes
yeah,
just
I
pointing.
mean-
Like, oh man. But yeah, it's just super cool. I wish this existed. I wish
Yeah.
that we could have embraced it fully nationally. We already kind of talked about that, but I mean,
yeah.
how nice would it be to ride a train places, much less one that was going to go 60 miles an hour underground? So you basically could go from downtown to Harlem in like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, less.
Yeah, how fast do subways go today?
Great question.
It's a very great
Thank you.
question. I'm gonna look that up for you.
Thanks. So I did see some throwaway lines that I did not pursue further. My mistake. That were like, it is unclear if the pneumatic system of a railway would scale well. Or if it's like super effective in terms of like squirrely pathways. So I don't
Interesting.
know how it's hard to say if this would have like grown the way that we would like it to have done.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. There's definitely the issue of how you maintain like pressure in these tubes and how you can also maintain
Yeah.
all of the baffles all the time, because everything has to kind of
Yeah.
switch perfectly, otherwise it ceases to function. You don't really want
Which
people
I
getting
guess
stuck.
is true of trains.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing about trains is they're like on a track, and you actually have like
Yeah.
angular momentum in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's still electricity versus just air pressure.
Oh, and that's my other question is what's the are we like pressurizing the cabin?
What?
Interesting,
Yeah, I
because
didn't know. I
you would
just assumed
have
it'd be
a
like,
collapse thing
oh,
from the exterior
but
pressure
it's
on
that
the inside.
short, so you wouldn't have to
Yeah.
deal with that. But if it was long, you probably would.
Well, only this one.
I don't
is
know
short.
physics.
I don't.
I thought the shape of the car being sort of like conical on the outsides would like
helps.
allows the air to pass over in such a way that moves the thing without putting the pressure on, right?
Oh,
Like-
just like an airplane.
Yeah,
It's just a plane.
yeah, you're doing like an
okay.
airplane thing, like high pressure, low pressure fronts, right? Where like air
Oh,
moves
I thought it
around
was-
to create balance, and it carries the thing with it because it's in the way, not that it's
Yeah.
actually like squeezing down on anything.
Huh. Okay.
New York City subway's average speed currently is 17.4 miles per hour.
Well, goddamn. Let's get these pneumatic tubes up in here.
Right? Seriously.
I got places to be.
Yeah.
You have to go to let's see, you have to go to just anywhere else in the world to get
faster speeds.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Copenhagen, Osaka are up in the 30s to 40s.
Oh, nice.
It does appear that DC might be hitting the 50s
Oh,
at
Whoa.
times,
fancy.
but I mean
When it's
At
running
times.
late.
well, and I wonder
Yeah.
if that's just like between the airport and the city or something.
Oh,
like,
Yeah,
'cause-
whenever you don't have
yeah.
any.
Yeah, because if you don't have any intermittent
Stops or
intermediary
roads.
stops, yeah, you don't have to slow down.
You can just
yeah.
pedal to the metal.
Just go.
But yeah, so there you go. This is the story of the first New York City subway, which never was and never will be, but invented by an incredibly cool guy who we should all probably know
Yeah.
about, because there are cool guys who did try to do cool stuff with
There are a
inventions,
couple.
not just killing elephants, not just dead naming their children, not
Yeah.
just forcing us to convert Word documents to different kinds of Word documents and then losing all of our formatting. They don't have to be evil.
No.
Mhm.
Here is one thing that I wanted more of. Photos.
Oh,
There aren't very many, which,
Probably 'cause of the
makes sense
time.
given the time
Yeah.
period.
yeah, that's fair.
The thing was going 60 miles an
they're-
hour. You got to sit for a
Mhm.
So
daguerreotype for like
fast.
45 minutes at least.
But I would recommend searching the name of, what is it? I've already forgotten this man's name.
Alfred
Beach.
Ely Beach?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Beach. I was like, breath? No, that's pneumatic.
Close.
The Beach Pneumatic Company plus Reddit. Go ahead and give that a Google.
Oh.
Because there are some train nerds on there, which is not surprising.
sense. Yeah.
However, like a couple of them had tried to locate the current state of the tunnel, which like is maybe under an apartment building, and I don't know, like addresses have changed topside, so it's sort of like, and stuff was destroyed and replaced with more modern subway stuff. So it's a little bit like, where is it? How much can we see?
Mm.
And there are some like urban explorer type photos, as
Oh.
well as somebody went to the there's like a museum of transportation there. And
Oh,
so
nice.
they went and dug up some more photos from when it was found after the fire. And so there are some more photos there, which are cool, but I can't understand them. It's like, yes, that looks like a tunnel. It's recognizable as a tunnel. I don't really know why there are 6 photos of it, because they all look the same to me.
It might be a little tunnel racist of you. I'm gonna say that.
It is,
I'm gonna
it
say
is,
that
it
to keep
is.
us honest as a podcast. That's all. I don't
I mean,
believe that
we
We
about
don't know the
you.
nuances between them.
That's what it is. I don't know
Eventually-
the nuances.
I mean, maybe we'll dive into it. Maybe that'll become something. Maybe you'll get really
the guy
into
who
tunnels.
uploaded them, dude, I was so close to
Soon.
getting into tunnels back when
Soon.
we were talking about all the people digging on TikTok.
Yeah, one of
Like-
the girls digging a tunnel, and that's what I'm afraid of, walking over her tunnel and then falling in.
Let me fall. Maybe it's an Alice in Wonderland.
Maybe.
What was the cave? What was the cave story that we?
Ted the Caver.
Yeah, Ted
Ted the
Caver.
Caver. Oh, good times, you
Yeah.
guys.
we loved
The
underground
memes.
tunnels and
Loved
things.
that one.
But yeah, in Ghostbusters 2, everyone's favorite Ghostbusters movie, they find the Beach Pneumatic Tube Station under First Avenue in Manhattan. It is labeled differently.
Hmm.
And that's where they find all of the gross pink sludge
goo.
that is
Yeah.
causing everybody in New York to get extra grumpy, maybe?
Yeah.
Friggin'
Haunted.
New York subways. More fluids.
More fluids.
Too many.
But knowing this and
This was a
watching
different
that,
color.
because the movie was on Tubi maybe recently. I think it
Oh, okay.
left. I think it's already left by time of recording, so you're gonna have to find
Ow.
another place. But it was on there, and I watched it because I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm prepared for this show, so
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
rewatch Ghostbusters 2. What the hell? And it's neat to see it because you're like, oh yeah, they did really faithfully replicate the tunnel as illustrated in the drawings you can see, where it's,
Oh,
it's a
cool.
perfectly round tunnel. There's like a pit down the center in the middle where kind of the guides for the train would go.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh.
trough.
Yeah, the trough. And the trough is full of goo.
It's always full of goo. We need a ShamWow for New York.
Ugh. Just a giant one over the entire.
Yeah.
And then,
Ugh.
as mentioned.
Who's gonna ring that one out? Ugh, no thank
Yeah. Oh, man. Obviously, Lady Liberty.
You're right.
She's right
busy
there.
doing all
She's
the
right
work.
there over the water. And she's big enough to take care of
Yeah,
it. Like,
always
I'm
leave it to
I'm
the
not saying
woman.
it's her job. I'm just
Always
saying that,
leave
like,
it to the woman.
I'm saying she's got the opportunity, It's
Yeah,
gonna take
that's what-
it's gonna take
That's
us.
what the men always say to the women.
Yep.
That's fair. Hey, you know
She
what?
had the opportunity to clean the house. Okay.
I'm going to adjust my
Okay.
board, okay? I'm adjusting
Oh, and you
my
didn't.
board.
Oh, and you didn't have an opportunity.
Oh, I'm supposed to do this, and you've been spending every single night underground with your buddies making a tunnel.
Oh man, do you think yeah, what was his he had kids. Who was his wife? I didn't even think to
Kids
look.
magically
Now I'm
appeared.
the problem.
Storks.
Stork.
Yeah, storks.
I don't know.
Underground
about-
storks. What would the underground stork be? A mole rat?
That
Or like,
the
what are the bird
Beetlejuice worm.
diving birds?
Hmm.
Sandworms?
Oh, like a heron? Oh.
was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah. I was
that.
thinking like a loon or a heron, something that like really goes down under and does
Yeah,
a thing,
yeah,
and then comes.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
penguins, for that matter. They're known for diving.
Oh, cute.
Plus, they wouldn't mind all that goo. They love fluids,
They love
That's-
fluids.
I guess true.
and they always come out looking like they're wearing a tuxedo. So who better to go into the fluids?
Oh,
Yeah, they
would
would
work
fit
so
in.
well
Yeah.
in this bougie subway
Ooh,
station.
trademark.
They'd
This
fit
could be a
right
new
in.
Pixar movie. We should stop.
They're ready to buttle. Other films that have featured this tunnel include the direct-to-video An American Tale, The Treasure of Manhattan Island.
Oh,
Never heard of it, never seen it.
that's
I
not
can't,
the
I can't
animated
vouch
film?
for it.
Okay.
It's
No,
gotta
it
be
is.
animated,
It's
right?
from 1998, so it's technically American
Oh.
Tale 3. I only saw the
Oh.
first two, I think.
I,
I
may
saw
have seen that.
An American Tale, and I saw Fievel Goes West. I think that's the second
Definitely
one.
saw Five Will Goes West.
And then, so
Okay.
this would be the third one that was direct to video that probably no one saw. But Beach's
Yeah.
Tunnel is in it.
Cute piece of
There
news.
is a song by the band Klaatu, which of course comes from The Day the Earth Stood Still, because
Oh.
and ties into Evil Dead, because Klaatu,
Oh.
whatever
Yeah.
Nikto is the words you say to the Book of the Dead. They have a song in 1976 titled Sub Rosa Subway that talks about the construction of the station and its
Oh,
public
fun.
reception. Kind of cool.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics because I wondered what public perception was outside of the politics stuff and the "Ooh, let me ride the ride." Like, were people scared of it?
It doesn't seem like they were. I mean, maybe it was like a roller coaster kind of thing. Like that could explain the attraction, that it's moving that fast
Yeah.
probably is dazzling, right? Like you're going to feel a little weird. It's like, whoa, my petticoat. I feel
There's
like I
no
left my
way.
petticoat back 300 feet
Yeah.
ago. It was also featured in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
You're not going to keep going after that. We have to talk about that and how I wanted to live in the subway because of that. And they made it look so luxurious and so beautiful. And I was like, that is the pinnacle of life, is living underground in the subway, ordering pizza, having them come down and give you the pizza.
Yeah, the fact that Beach legit like made the space as more luxurious than it's even presented
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
in the movie. But like, yeah, you could have chandeliers, you could have legit nice furniture and couches and benches and all kinds of things and like lighting. The entrance to the tunnel, from the one photo that I've been able to find, there are these two really cool like people
Statues of
statue
turtles?
lights
Oh, okay.
holding. Yeah, there. There's some sort of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's hard
They've
to
been
tell.
around forever.
But-
It's not new.
Yeah, one of the lights is holding nunchucks. It's amazing.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's really like the thought and the effort to make it something that would be comfortable for people is really
Mhm.
beautiful. Like it does. That's the other way that I kind of go back to like the Steve Jobs design thing of just like, we make this thing undeniably comfortable for the person who holds it so that they don't question why it's there. They just start playing with it. And it seems like that's what Beach did too. He was like, look, I don't want you to worry about what this does or how far it goes or why. I just want you to like check out how beautiful this is. Give me a quarter, get in there. You're going to listen to some classical music on the way in, and then
Yeah,
you get to
dude.
ride a tube, and then you get to come out being like, holy shit, I want to be a tube. And then somebody has to explain to you that you can't be a tube, but you can help fund the building of a tube. And it's a whole thing, but you got to start there.
Listen, you can be a tube. What is the human body if not a tube?
I mean, in fairness, we have the Human Centipede series to prove that.
Oh,
Can I read to y'all a couple of the lyrics from this song?
yes,
Bring it
please
on.
do.
Okay, I'm going to start with the beautiful one.
Oh.
Just beneath the Great White Way, Alfred Beach worked secretly, risking all to ride a dream. His wind machine. His wind machine.
Aw.
And then I'm going to read to you the part that made me laugh.
Okay, perfect.
Had you wondered who's been digging under Broadway? It's Alfred. Poor Al. Oh no, Al.
I'm so excited to listen to it with music.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Aw. It is a pity that no one with power went up to Alfred and said, Beach, please give me more of this tunnel.
More tunnel.
You did that.
More tunnel.
But now I think it's time for the MouthGarf Report.
The MouthGarf Report. Open wide for some lasagna. I hate Mondays.
Yay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about MouthGarfs.
Mouths and garfs.
Mouths and Garfs. Yeah, as I sort of talked about earlier, I watched Men. Men is a movie that has some kind of
Garfs.
some mouths and teethy related things that will be interesting
Have you
for
seen
us
the
to
movie
discuss
Teeth?
later. I have, yeah. Vagina dentata.
Yeah.
Did that get your wires all crossed up? Is that the start of the teeth thing? Or
No, yeah. Oh man, that would be something, right? I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? This doesn't hurt enough. I should probably suffer more.
Ooh, chompers.
Ooh,
Now there's an
chompers.
idea.
Well, somebody should brush those. Um,
Wait, no, but what was it in Men? Does Men just have a lot of teeth?
Just
A lot of
well,
smiling?
one, a lot of it takes place on the English countryside, so there is
Right.
definitely some teeth, right?
There's
Or
some
it's just
teeth.
like some, big book
Yeah.
of British smiles
When you
kind
say
of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We know the teeth.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We love the teeth. If there are any listeners in the UK, we also
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
it's
love
great.
it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you just
Just recognizable.
Yeah.
That's all.
live free of the bills that we have paid for our teeth to look almost perfect, but never perfect enough. And then everybody's always trying to convince us to spend more money.
Fucking speaking of,
Yes.
I got upsold on the Invisalign equivalent, Sure Smile, low these many years ago. Got my
Low.
teeth all straight. And then you'll recall, I kept chewing
Yes.
through my
Retainers.
mouth guards
Oh,
that were
yeah.
also retainers. Yeah. So replaced it with the mouth guard with the metal in it.
Mhm.
And when we put it in, I was like, at the office when we were fitting it, I was like, I don't think that this is holding my teeth as tight.
Oh no.
Guess whose teeth are fucking crooked again?
Son of a gun.
I think that it was a trap. I think that they were like, first, we'll get her to buy the braces. Then we'll get her to buy the mouth guard. And then you know what? She's going to need those braces again.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
So a Sure
They're just
Smile by
crooked.
the
They're
amount
fine.
of trays, retainers? How do they work?
Say again?
Do you pay by the amount of trays that you have for Sure Smile?
Oh, I guess I'm not sure. I had to just pay a lump sum at the beginning.
Because I was
So
going to say
I'm not
Invisalign does a
sure.
5-year, so they can. Because I was talking to somebody about the extra 10 weeks of bullshit, and they were like, "Oh, they're trying to scam you," and I was like, "Actually, they're not. I wish that they
it's the
were
same.
because, yeah. So I've already paid for
Oh.
it. That's actually against them if they keep.
Oh,
So I think they actually are trying to help my teeth, but I don't know. I think I'm struggling with the new retainers. They're doing some weird stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't feel like my teeth are really moving that much, but these are the front part of my teeth are moving a lot, but that they're like moving into a position that makes it the thing that they're trying to fix worse. So I don't know what's going on. Like the thing that they were trying to fix is for my back teeth to bite better and for my front teeth not to hit each other. And they are hitting each other. They are hitting the shit out of each other, especially when I take my retainers off. Every time I eat, they like. So I'm struggling
not
and
good.
it hurts. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't love it.
They just
Sorry.
renubbed you. This should
Yeah.
not be happening.
Yeah.
They should not. It should not be happening. But maybe it's like they have to make it worse before they make it better. You know how that's how I clean.
That's what they told me when they did mine.
Yeah, so maybe they're making it worse, and I don't love it, but we'll see it. I just don't want to get my teeth shaved again.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
don't
have-
really like this whole we have to make something worse before we make it better thing. I kind of don't buy it.
No.
I don't think
I mean,
think that has
whenever
to
I
be a thing.
clean, I have to make everything really fucking bad before it gets clean.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
disgusting for like a week, and I'm like, no one come anywhere near this house.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not necessarily worse. That's just like your baseline is what your baseline
I need you
is
to
set
understand. It
at a
is
spot.
pretty fucking gross. I mean,
I didn't say it's
I
not
guess
gross.
that's true. I guess
just
I do
mean,
have
like-
I mean, my baseline or my dirty is a lot of people's clean. I think not a lot. Some people's clean,
Sure. Yeah.
not my version of clean. But yeah, you have to just shove everything on the floor and then stare at it and then get really overwhelmed and cry a little bit. Anyway,
agree.
thank
That's
you.
my tactic as well.
That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to clean. And it
Yeah.
takes like months. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. This is fine. Why did I start it? It's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
I do have bird news.
Right.
It's really depressing. Not that depressing.
Oh.
I don't know. It's the circle of life. It's fun. I did watch a hawk grab a baby squirrel out of one of my
Oh my
trees
God.
and then fly to
Oh,
another
dang.
tree and immediately take a giant dump and then eat the baby.
Wow.
Whoa.
Well, you got to make room, I guess.
Or at least
There's a-
take the baby. I don't know. There's another bird that came around.
Are you sure
I was
that
like, what's
this was a
happening?
hawk and not the hawk to a girl?
Aw. They looked the same. So I mean, but it was shocking to see. I was really excited to see the hawk. I was so excited. And then I walked
Yeah,
out
that's
and then
a-
that happened. And then the squirrel's like sibling came out and was like, "Me, me, 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 me."
Oh.
And I was like, I will
You're
cry
like,
with
go
you.
hide. Go hide. It's not
You don't
safe.
need to go either.
Like
Yeah,
the
there was just like a little nest at the top, and I was like, "This sucks."
like that scene in
Aw.
Return of the Jedi when the one Ewok discovers that the other Ewok has been killed, and then they do the like
Spoiler.
"Arr." I mean, look, there's some collateral damage in a war between a military force
What?
and forest teddy bears.
Oh, is that what that movie's about?
Yeah. It's about Vietnam.
Ah.
I do have bird news.
Good.
And I do actually I've discovered some Garf news. I'm gonna try a new MouthGarf report thing. So
Okay.
bird news on the 31st of August, which was just a few days ago at time of record. I went out because I was hearing some great bird noises.
Okay.
And we had a pair of white-breasted nuthatches that were
What?
bouncing around in our tree in the backyard, just like knocking at the branches and stuff, and they're making great little noises. And then a cardinal came in and started
Aw.
like talking to him. They didn't have like a
Oh.
territory thing. It was like he stopped by. They
Just
were like
hanging out.
and then
love
zipped
it.
away.
Fun.
All while a house sparrow was singing a song. So it was like a little dance club for a minute. It was pretty great.
You're like a little Snow White over
Yeah.
I
there.
know, right?
Cute.
For the news, I discovered that there is an article from September 3rd, so yesterday, in Daily Sabah. I'm not pronouncing that
sounds
right,
like incredible news.
but
source.
it's Sabah, and the
Okay.
headline is Garfield-like cat in Turkey claims historic bazaar as her own.
Oh, okay. It might be it.
She deserves it.
So apparently there is a one-eyed cat named Tarsine who
Oh.
resembles Garfield. Tarsine is cinnamon, translates to cinnamon,
Oh.
and has charmed the people at Izmir's Kemeralty Bazaar for the last 17 years. So this is an old cat,
Aw.
and she's just hanging out, holding court. She goes around, she takes what she wants, and she is apparently has a striking resemblance to the cartoon character Garfield,
I love that.
and has become a
love
local
her.
celebrity.
And you're going to provide us with a link to that article so we can look at pictures.
I will put a
Thank you.
link in the show notes, and I'm going to show you the photo here.
Oh, baby.
Right?
You're so chunky.
She's chunky. She's missing an eye. She's doing a thing.
Aw.
But that just means she's always winking at you.
Oh, I love
A
her.
sassy little wink. So Visitors to the bazaar, particularly those from out of town, often inquire about her, eager to say hello. Quote, people ask us, is the cat still here?
Oh,
I mean, I don't know how reputable a news source this is, but I'll take this. This
it
works
might
for
be.
me.
I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
is. I'm very happy with this article.
I'm seeing it on Turkey Today as well.
Wait, okay.
So
So it's double verified. The cute thing here, it says during the pandemic, this woman and her colleagues at the bazaar went out of their way to get special permits to ensure that Tarsine was cared for during that period of time, because people couldn't come to
yay.
the bazaar to shop, obviously, because of
right,
isolation.
yeah.
But yeah, they really care about this cat, so they went out of their way to make sure that their Garfield was living it.
Is it
The way it should
contradictory that
be.
we're cat people and bird people?
We contain multitudes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do. I
It's a
guess.
circle of, you said circle of life earlier. I
It
think that's what
is,
it
but
is,
it
right?
hurts. Ugh.
Would you guys like to play a game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Great. You know what? As luck would have it, I have a game right here.
What?
Oh my God.
It's time to play. I see what you did there. We're going to talk about subways, but also about some of the pop culture references that we made. And Chelsea, remember, Subway restaurants. Keep that in mind.
I will.
This is going to be good.
Is it?
Okay.
I'm actually
We'll
very
be the
worried
judge
about
of
this
that.
one.
Here we go. Number 1. This actress knows a bit about pneumatic physics, seeing as she's seen a few aliens sucked out of an airlock now and again. And this is literature or art that deals with sexually stimulating or arousing subject matter.
Sigourney Weaver-erotica?
You see what I did there? Sigourney
Damn,
Weaver-erotica.
I was like Sigourney Weaver-nography.
Yeah, I mean, we can't define Sigourney Weaver-nography, but you know when you see it. The additional clue that I had, because I tried to include some additional clues for myself
Thank
in
you.
advance,
That's
just in
very
case,
That's smart. That's smart.
was to add that her son was also possessed by Vigo the Carpathian. So
Oh, that's
you would
right.
have
Yeah,
you would have been
yeah.
able to clock Sigourney from Ghostbusters 2.
That's a good. I love that your clue,
That
your
was fun. Ties
backup
back.
clue is still on topic.
Yeah. I'm trying. Look, I'm
Smart.
trying to make sure that I see what I did there, so that you can see
Yeah,
what
You're
I
yeah.
doing
did
a great
there.
job.
Because otherwise, it's the
We can
blind.
see it from every
not
angle,
seeing what
really.
anybody did.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Okay, that was amazing, listeners. You really have to clock. That was like seconds after I
You
read
edit
this.
it out every
Like, I'm
time,
done.
so we sound the smart every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. We're closing gaps, but this time it was real. I promise. Number 2, this Subway sandwich was originally named in reference for the Brooklyn Manhattan Transit. And this is the practice or promotion of total personal abstinence from the consumption of alcohol.
It's not the Italian. That doesn't make any sense.
It's not. There is a
Oh, it's the. Is
You're
it
doing it.
BMT? Or
it's the
something?
BMT, yeah.
Okay,
Brooklyn Manhattan
BMT.
Transit, yeah. It's the BMT. You got
Is
it.
it like BM? Oh my god! It's like this is gonna sound so. It's like BMT taller or something. I don't know the word, but it was in
teetotaler.
Thank you. It was in categories, and I didn't know it, and I
Yeah.
got so mad at my brother, and I texted him. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I don't know that word. I learned that this week, so thank you.
I was gonna
good
go. I was going
timing.
to accept BMT totalism, BMT totaling,
Mm.
or BMT totaler. So you see what I did there? Yeah. The backup clue I had was the name for the alcoholic drink thing, because this is a fun fact I learned while putting this together. Teetotaling is possibly just a way of emphasizing the word total
Oh,
in the past, where you're saying like, T
Oh,
totaling.
T total.
So the first T is to say
Oh.
that this is a capital T that we are underlining.
Yeah.
It's T totaling. So I
my
thought
God,
that was
thank
really
God.
neat.
I had no idea
Yeah.
to pronounce it. Now I
Yeah.
have it stuck. Oh,
I was always curious about the
God
etymology of
bless.
that, and then I discovered it by accident. So yeah, BMT
Huh.
totalism. BMT totaling.
Neat.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what, Nate? This is a good one.
Isn't it? This is
Yeah.
kind of fun.
This is
It's kind of
great.
fun.
Yeah.
I got a little deeper on some stuff. Okay. Now that you've both become excited, this is the longest clue I have ever
Oh my
written in my
God.
entire
Okay.
life.
God damn it.
Jesus. Kelly, why did you say that?
I jinxed us. I'm so sorry.
But the answer is very much up both of your alleys in
Okay,
ways that
great.
will be obvious. Okay.
Okay.
Number
Okay.
three. Number three.
Val Kilmer.
In the current New York City subway, this is a method of providing direct electric current power to a railway locomotive or train through a semi-continuous rigid conductor placed alongside or between the tracks. And this is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious, but referring to an Enlightenment era secret society founded in May 1776 in Bavaria with stated goals to oppose superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuses of state power. I have additional clue stuff. Okay.
Okay.
The first
Hold
part.
on. Will you
Wait. Like,
will you say the second part again?
Yeah. The second part.
Because I got very disheartened.
This is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious, but referencing an Enlightenment era secret society founded in May 1776 in Bavaria in opposition to superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuses of state power. This particular group is also not to be confused with the New World Order. Okay. The add-on clue to the first part, which was about the method of providing direct electric current to the New York City subway, it's also a metaphor for an issue that is so controversial that it is charged and untouchable by politicians or public officials.
it's untouchable.
Yeah. Can't talk about it.
Oh.
Don't even bring that idea up. That's a blank issue.
Hmm.
Is it the Hellfire Club?
It's not. It's the most obvious secret society you could think of
The Freemason. No, that's not.
that involves enlightenment, emphasis on light.
Why are we having such a difficult? Why is this so difficult? This feels like it shouldn't be difficult, and it
I
is
know.
up our alleys, but we feel
I'm
dumb.
trying so hard. Light.
The animation studio that makes the Minions movie, I believe, shares a
DreamWorks.
root
No, that's not it.
with this.
Is it DreamWorks? Do they make the Minions movie? It's
I
not
think that's the
Pixar.
studio, but not the animation
Shit.
company.
Okay, hold on.
Well, that's not in my brain. What other clues do you have?
We are
if you look at the
struggling.
back of a dollar bill, you would see a pyramid.
Oh, the Illuminati.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
Illumination
Oh my
is
god.
the studio that makes Minions, I think.
I think you're
And
right.
That would also be a way to enlighten something, illuminate it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So the other one is direct through electricity that comes through stuff.
Yeah, so a subway train has two of these things that comprise the track.
Tracks?
What are the
Oh.
individual things called?
Rail?
Great.
Okay.
Now, what if there's two of those that the wheels go on, and maybe there's another one that delivers direct current? What would you call that?
I'm not sure I would.
Would it be like okay, so you're saying that there are 3 rails?
Live wire?
I would say that there are 3 rails,
So is
and
it
if you were
triple?
to number them,
1, 2, 3?
and then you were to talk
Three-rail?
about the order in which that they exist,
Okay, this is making it more difficult.
you would rank. Maybe you would okay.
Count rails, triple rail, 3 rail,
Third-
1, 2, 3
third
rail.
Yeah, third rail.
Third rail.
Kelly got it.
Shit.
Okay, now put
That's what it is. Third rail. Okay.
put those
Third
together.
rail Illuminati.
third rail Illuminati. You see what I did there?
I have never heard third rail before.
I've
Yeah,
heard
so-
third
That
rail,
means-
but in the term of people falling on it and getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about it in the subway way, although not by that name that I recall. But it also means like a hot button.
Yeah. In politics, like
Oh.
a third rail issue,
I
like
didn't know that.
like for periods of
It's like,
time,
don't
abortion
touch
was a
it,
third
you'll
rail,
die.
where it's like
No,
just
now
don't
it's
bring
the
it up.
only rail.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because it will
Okay.
toast you. It will kill your campaign if you talk about it. Now
I
it appears to
see.
be doing anything real for people to keep other people
Yeah.
from dying. But whatever.
Right.
Hey, look, we're not here to talk about that. You saw what I did there. Third rail Illuminati.
Oh, and I learned something.
Yeah, I learned something too. This
I didn't
was
know
great.
I
We're
didn't
not
know-
even upset by this. We learned.
Yeah, it was hard,
learned.
but sometimes you have to work for
We
knowledge.
didn't finish. I was surprised to find out that the Illuminati is technically one specific organization founded in Bavaria in 1776, and they were like,
Yeah.
"We got to get religion out of all this."
Well, you
shit.
said that they were light and they
Yeah.
were. I would never see because they illuminate shit.
Yeah.
Illuminate.
Now I
Yeah,
see what you
yeah.
did there. It took me a minute.
Now you see even more.
Yay!
Okay. Number four. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle who identifies as a party dude and wears a color associated with the Denver Broncos and Baltimore Orioles. And these were frozen ice pop treats that launched with a marketing campaign fronted by actor and comedian and completely awesome and unflappably good dude, Bill Cosby.
Donatello
It's pudding
pops? That can't be
pops.
right. Oh,
Pudding pops, right?
Okay, so we got Michelangelo, Donatello,
So you need the party dude. Who's the party
Raphael.
dude?
I don't know. Okay, I named 3 of them.
It's in the theme
Uh-huh.
song, but I only know that as an idea. I never actually.
Here's what I
watched
recall from the
this.
theme song. Leonardo
know
leads.
pudding pops.
Donatello does
Oh,
machines.
Leonardo.
Raphael is
Donatello does
cool but
machines.
rude.
Yeah,
And this
So is
turtle is
Michelangelo.
a party dude.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Michelangelo pudding pops.
Michelangelo pudding pops.
Yeah.
Oh,
got it.
I thought it
okay.
was Donatello because it was EL. Well, EL. Because I was like, well, okay, that was not a good.
Yeah. You see what I did there? Yeah, it's great.
Listen, we started off really
I feel
strong.
like I feel bad for not getting that correct on the first go.
You got one more. You got one more for redemption.
All right.
Okay,
Here's
okay.
your redemption.
I mean,
one.
we've okay.
Have you watched Ghostbusters 2 recently enough to get this correct? I don't know.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, maybe
definitely
you
not,
might
no.
kind of remember this.
All right.
uh,
You have a lot of
in-
faith in us. That's sweet.
In Ghostbusters 2, the boys, specifically the Ghostbusters, the busters of ghosts,
Mhm,
put
mhm,
some of the
mhm,
pink
mhm.
slime that they find in the beach pneumatic transit tunnel in this common kitchen appliance and watch it dance to Jackie Wilson's "Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher." And this is a normal developmental phase experienced by young children that's often marked by tantrums, defiant behavior, and lots of frustration. And it generally begins around 18 to 30 months of age.
So it's terrible twos.
Toast terrible twos.
What'd you say?
Toast terrible.
You see what I did there? Toast terrible twos.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
I have
saw.
seen Ghostbusters 2 recently enough to remember
Nice.
toasters.
They put the goo and play that song in 2 things. One is a toaster. What's the second, Kelly?
Is it the refrigerator?
They,
No, I'm thinking of the eggs
other-
in
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
refrigerator.
Yeah. This is a much bigger thing that I suggested might
Oh,
be
it's
responsible
bigger?
for ShamWowing the city.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I was very focused on another kitchen appliance. Yeah, of course I remember them like so much goo inside the Statue
Yeah.
of Liberty. And now that I'm saying that sentence,
Oh yeah,
it's-
take it back.
They like
That's
they,
really
they
upsetting.
really blew like several loads of the Statue of Liberty and then walked it through town.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say
God, she deserves
We're
better.
okay with that.
God, she deserves
that
better.
movie is also like really like extra anti-government and pro-Reagan capitalist kind of energy. Like they're on a tear about like everybody's getting in our way
Okay.
doing stuff. It's like, well, but you guys had a nuclear reactor before, and now you're
Yeah.
now you're kind of being irresponsible. Anyway, I see what you did there.
Yay!
Yay!
So now I think it's time to talk Debs. Let's talk Debs.
How many devs
yo,
Can I
gotta go 5. What?
I was gonna say, can I go first? Because I'm the only person who did not
Sorry.
investigate the correct thing. And I kept being like, man, everyone keeps saying that these are really cool things, but it starts in 1904 and nothing cool happens. Because I was trying to get YouTube videos to watch in passing and TikToks to watch in passing because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to like put something on and listen to it and pay attention to it. But I think you guys read, which is a better way to do things. And I loved it so much. So Kelly, I agree with your 5. I
yeah.
literally am going to take the time after this to see if there is some kind of biography on
Mhm.
our boy Beach because he sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one other thing that I forgot because one of my notes got kicked to the I see what you did there email that I sent myself because that's how I'm doing this now. In addition to that typewriter for the blind, he also invented a system for heating water with solar power.
Wow.
That's right. Yes.
So like,
oh my God.
motherfucker's just been like solved
Love
stuff
him.
that we still refuse to solve.
Yeah.
You know?
Ah,
Maybe we should look back at
Amazing.
a bunch of old patents to see if we can fix the world's problems.
a bunch of them are uploaded.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
read through a bunch of them.
If any old asshole can claim that they invented stuff after looking at old patents, we surely can, and we'll actually do good with it instead of buying a social media platform to air our grievances.
The Brazilians left Twitter, and now nobody's on Twitter.
What?
Yeah. Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense because generally a Brazilian means the total removal of stuff.
I don't get it.
Please, you're gonna get there. Come on.
Okay, I'll let you know when it happens. Oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
there we go.
I was like, they're known for big things.
Yeah.
Butts, boobs, etc.
I probably could have made an add-on joke that would have helped, which is that you would assume that the transition would have been smoother than it was.
Ha ha ha. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 also. I think this was one of those things where I was fascinated. I was reading about this guy. Like I
Yeah.
looked at the initial page and I was like, oh, there's really not a lot here. It's pretty basic, whatever. Then I read a little bit about that. Then I read about him. I was like, wow, how is this the ship that we're not taught? Like, why isn't somebody mentioning this guy as like, hey, you know, inventors can also be cool and not just like capitalists who are raging. Like they can also be people who invest their entire life savings in trying to do a good thing for people, and then they just die. But they like did a cool thing. Yeah, it's a bummer.
But if we didn't have making money off of something as a, what's it called, motivation, then why would we ever do it?
He wasn't making money.
That's a joke. I would never I think that people not making money actually makes them more
Okay.
creative and does better.
Oh,
But
I'm
that's
so
scary,
riled
Kelly.
up.
Like,
I can't-
I thought you knew me better.
I was
Like,
gonna say, I mean, I
yours
feel
sounds
like
right.
I'm reeling
I'm
from the Brazilian
sorry.
thing. I don't know.
I think this
I need to be a
podcast
little
is evidence
drier.
enough
I
to know
think
that we
I
all
leaned
want to
into
do
it.
something and not make money at it. Like we're dedicated to
To not
creating
making money.
with no profit motivation at all.
We have to bring the fun facts
Touche,
to the people.
touche.
Well, and plus it's like, I don't know. I think that whether we're one of anybody's favorite podcasts or not, like it's cool to bring good vibes and good information into the world when so much of podcasting is like, I mean, there's quality everywhere, obviously, but there's a lot of like grumpy bullshit too. And I think we're doing it right. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Come hang out with your 3 buds.
That's right.
We're the
Yeah.
best buddies. You could
Email us at debutbuddies@gmail.com. Tell us that you love us. And other
Yeah,
stuff. You can
please.
tell us other things too.
tell us
we
what you
we
wanna
really
the
do
first
want
of.
to read things that you want to tell us.
Yeah,
We'll
for
talk
sure.
about stuff.
Yeah.
Like we want
We
to do a mailbag episode, so fill our bag with mail.
Mail time.
You know, think of us as the Statue of Liberty, and you've just got a bunch of pink
No,
under
stop
city
it.
goo.
Don't even keep
No
going.
fluids.
Oh, God.
No fluids.
Some of the sources that I used for this included an nyhistory.org blog about the beach pneumatic transit system, and blog.mcny.org article, again, about that, titled Just a Bunch of Hot Air.
Oh.
It turns out not. That was sassy.
No.
And I get that maybe in 2012, like during the Obama years, you're like, I'll be sassy about this. You know what? You got to be nice. This is serious good stuff. Retitle that
Yeah.
article right now. There's also an untappedcities.com article from 2020, and then the Wikipedia about Alfred Ely Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
What a great time.
Great
Best
time.
time. 5
I
out of
think-
5, 10 out of 10. All the Debs.
And you know what?
Mhm.
We can do that math for you right now, listeners. It's 5. The average is 5 or
For
10,
Debs.
depending on which one you
5
use.
times 3.
Divided by
15 minus
3.
the numerator
we got this.
divided by
Carry the 1.
the pneumatic tube variable.
Uh-huh. That's a power up.
Yeah. It makes
For
your
7.
15 into a 17, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll take it.
like
We'll
that.
take it.
You know what else we'll take? A nice pair of Canadian tuxedo pants, because our
Yay.
next episode
It's
is going to
confused
be
there a little bit.
it sometimes it's confusing for me too, because I started that going like, how am I going to finish this sentence? And I
Well,
was like,
you
oh yeah, no,
started it well.
tuxedo pants, that works, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you got
works.
there. You crushed
Well,
it.
well,
Yeah.
it
Just
works
broke
out.
woods.
But boy, howdy. We're going to talk about the first Levi's jeans. So get ready to learn about, maybe we're going to talk about San Francisco again. We alluded to San Francisco earlier. I bet we're going to go there.
Quite
Mm.
possibly.
We're going to talk about coarse, blue-dyed fabrics. We're going
Yes.
to talk about workman culture, longshoremen,
gonna be cool.
stevedores.
It's going to be cool.
And the
more?
devastating climate effects of cotton.
Yeah, the
Hair.
fabric of
Production.
our deaths.
Of our lives.
Turns
Oh.
out.
Yay!
Yay.
Listeners, if you like this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you find it. You can also go to Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Write whatever you want. Talk to us. Ooh, how do you rank the subway systems around the world? You can tell us that. We'll read that stuff.
Mhm.
Or maybe just like the last name Beach. Maybe you want to talk about actor Adam Beach, who used to be on Law and Order and was featured briefly in the first Suicide Squad before they made a good one. You can talk about that. I don't know. That's something.
Okay.
You can also just talk about other
Yeah.
beaches
Are
and
they
tubes that
good
you
ones
found on
good?
beaches, but not weird ones.
Oh my God, I wanted to talk about the fish tube. Do you guys
Oh,
remember the fish
did
Let's
tube?
talk about the
not.
fish tube.
Oh,
Listeners, it's a
my
fish tube
God.
alert.
I'm so sorry. Just I
Don't
this
wanna
was
lose
a
the
few
fish
years
tube.
ago. There was a tube. You would put fish on one end of the tube and they would whoop go out the other end, and everybody on the internet was like, I want to be put in the fish tube.
Whoa.
And I still want to be put in the fish tube. Do I know what function it served? No.
Was it just the expulsion? Like, were
Salmon
these fish being expelled from
cannon.
school?
No.
Yes. This was 2019 and I'm still thinking about it.
Is it like salmon swimming upstream and they have to go through like what are the things where water locks?
Yeah, it could
Mhm.
be shooting through the sky.
Shooting through the
checking bait
sky?
Through dry. It is like a
Oh my
fucking
God,
fish
okay.
tube. I don't know.
Well, when you said fish tube, I assumed it was all underwater.
No. It's up.
Okay, I'll try to find a fish tube
Fish
video to link in the show
tuberculosis.
notes. Oh God,
It's
Fish
not that.
consumption?
It's not that.
Oh no.
we will make sure that there is
It's
a fish tube
to
video
help them
and
move
Turkish
past
Garfield
scams.
in the show notes for everybody.
There are water misters along the tube length so that the fish can still breathe while
That's
they're
really
in the
sweet.
tube.
I mean, that's great, except that they're
okay,
probably
okay.
having heart attacks from being propelled at rates that they are unaware of and unprepared.
It's either
to
that or
I think
they
it was
get
good. I
eaten.
think it was good for them. I think it was helpful. I don't think that it was. I don't think it was mean.
Okay. Hey, look, I don't mean to judge anybody's fish tube. I just ask that people use it responsibly. Also, we didn't talk about Futurama, which prominently uses pneumatic tubes as a travel system around
Oh,
the
it
city.
does.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
people in a fish tube, as you alluded to, Kelly.
People tube.
Perfect. Put me in.
Yeah, they got suicide booths in
Well,
Futurama
one
too. So it's
day-
kind of everything
well,
we could
never
ask
mind.
for.
Put
I
me
was
in
gonna say,
that
well, one day
also.
visit each other via fish tube
Yeah,
Yay.
if we're lucky.
we'll take a fish tube on
Elon,
a
put your money to
cryptid
that.
search. Oh, apparently there's some there's some cryptid that's supposed to exist here, and I will learn more.
Yes.
It was
Okay.
there was something Dogman related that came
Oh,
up.
there's a
Oh.
dog man
Yeah,
everywhere.
well,
Yeah.
we might have a
We'll
Delaware
accept
Dogman.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
You
I'm
research
going to
it, you
figure out what I
bring
can
it.
find out. I'll bring you some Dogman.
MouthGarf it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll bring the Dogman
Well,
to
if
you.
you
I've
if
got
you
the
get enough
Dover Demon.
information that it's an episode, we can do an episode.
that too,
But if you
yeah.
can't, MouthGarf it.
Yeah.
I do remember the Dover Demon. That's true. Dang. All right. Well, hey, look, cryptids, they're everywhere. We love them.
Cryptids.
So yeah, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Say whatever you want in the comments. Talk to us. Have a dialogue. Email us, as aforementioned, debutbuddies@gmail.com. If you like our music, that's all Michael J. O'Connor's work. He did it all. So if you don't like it, blame him. But if you do love it, blame him, but with your money. Go to michaeljoconnor.bandcamp.com and just start throwing pennies at him. Not actual pennies, digital pennies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Overdose. And if you miss me and Chelsea in the off weeks of Debut Buddies, you can find us over on Never Show the Monster, a podcast about horror movies.
Yay!
Yay.
It's so spoopy.
Yay! Yeah!
And we're embarking
And we're in
upon
spooky season-ish.
spooky season now.
Oh, we're right after it.
No,
happening.
We,
Wait,
in
no.
our timeline, are going into spooky season.
But in this
And we'll
this
just have left
episode.
it.
this one will have started spooky season. The next one will just have left. The next one will be in
This will
November.
be the
This is 21st of October.
Oh,
Oh, we're middle
okay,
spooky
happy
So, hey, look.
spooky season.
I hope you're full of candy. I've been eating a lot of candy corn lately. I should have mentioned that in the
Oh,
MouthGarf
we're
report.
Hell
It's candy
yeah.
corn season.
It
I
is
am
candy corn season.
on board.
And regular corn season.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Corns of all
Gonna corn
walks and types.
maze it all.
It's amazing.
Ah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then. We will be back to talk about the first Levi's. Until then, listeners, make sure that you're taking public transit whenever you can, because you know what? If
Yeah.
you don't,
It's
everybody's
insane.
trying to get rid of it because they're all assholes. So make sure that it's
Mhm.
functioning and you're using it. And I mean, look, if you want to hop the turnstile now and again, go ahead. I know that's the thing that's in right now, but like maybe consider paying because
Mm.
you're going to miss it when it's gone.
That's true.
And there's not a lot of Alfred Beaches left to invent a new thing that'll actually work that people will care about.
Oh. R.I.P.
R.I.
R.I.P.
Yoha.
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 Bye, buddies.
First is best, or first is worst.